Welcome back, my friends, to a show about food trends. Perhaps we'll talk about burn ends. Come inside, come inside. Yes, there behind the glass, that's duck liver that you passed. No, it's not pronounced foie gras. Move along, move along. Little tribute to, what's that, King Crimson I'm paying tribute to there?
Yeah.
I think so. Come and hear the show, the Food and Loathing Show. I'm Al Mancini, and I have nearly the entire team with me today, even if I'm the only one in Vegas out of this group. Joining me via the magic of the interweb are Gemini Stevens, who was, last I checked, in Scotland, but I don't have her tagged. Okay, cool. And Rich Johnson, who I'm just believing is in Seattle. Can you guys hear me through the ether, through the interweb?
Somehow technology is working in our favor for once.
Right?
I actually, you know what I did was I strung up a soup can and I put a string and then I plugged that into the computer, and it seems to be the way to go.
I love it. You guys are, the weird thing is you sound now like you have an accent.
What kind of accent?
Oh, American accent?
American?
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can never get laid with an American accent, man. Like everybody from every country. And I mean, I'm talking about before our current, shall we say, droop in international popularity. But I remember I went to England one time and I'm all like, oh, man, every time my British friends come here, all the girls are like creaming in their jeans over their voices.
Right?
And shit, right? So I'm in a pub in England and I'm talking wasted, of course. And some girl just walks up to me and says, "You have a silly accent." And I was like, well, so much for the hope that it went both ways. My response to her was, actually, I'm from New York. My accent includes "fuck you."
Yeah. Strong letter to follow.
Yes. Oh, God. Great show coming up today, including a couple of extended interviews. One with my old friend Rick Giffen, who's now the executive chef of Vic's Supper Club at the Smith Center, and the other with Joe Mikulich of Anima by EDO, as well as the new brasseria and an upcoming pub and something out there in well, Rich, we're going to see if we can get you hooked up with these guys out in Seattle as well.
An empire.
Yes, but we are here to talk about the new menu items in Anima and whatever else he was willing to discuss with us. So you're going to hear both of those interviews at the center of the show. I also have some interviews from the Women in Hospitality Leadership Conference and a conversation about carbonara recorded at Eataly, where they're currently offering 4 twists on the classic dish.
Whoa.
We also have news, including some big news on a permanent home for Chef Tyler Vorse's Lily, and a brunch collaboration between Gina Marinelli and Bryce Krausman. Plus, we got a happy hour reporter run. Huh? Bryce?
I said, ooh.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I thought you forgot who he was. He's out of the...
No. That was excitement.
That's you in a positive way, not you.
I thought you said who. I don't know, man.
No.
That's just your little ooh.
Well, last time Bryce calls you.
Oh, man. So before we get to any of that, to my own restaurant reports, to our happy hour report, our culinary events calendar, before any of that, I'm really hoping Gemini can tell us about what she's been eating and drinking in Ireland and Scotland over the past couple of weeks. So, Gemini, can we throw to you, and how has Europe been treating you, particularly its pubs, distilleries, and breweries?
Oh, it's been amazing. So I think I've lost count, but we went to a bunch of distilleries. So I've been to Tullamore Dew. I've been to the Jameson place experience in Dublin, but then we went down to the Middleton distillery outside of Cork as well, and they do Jameson, Middleton, Redbreast, Powers, Method and Madness, and I'm sure there's something I'm missing. So we've done all kinds of really fun things. The pubs are fantastic. In Ireland, it was suggested that I look for something called a spice bag. And it's one of those foil paper bag things. And they throw in it chips, and sometimes it's chicken, sometimes it's prawns, sometimes it's both. It's got spices, it's got onions and peppers, and they just kind of throw it all in there, and it's comes with like a curry sauce. fantastic snack. If you go to like a petrol station or something like that, you can get a fantastic chicken fillet roll. We say fillet.
Fillet
It's fillet.
roll.
It's fillet here. And
Because
now that
we're
I'm in
not French and we will refuse to do. We pronounce our T's, goddammit.
That's right. And I love a full English, a full Irish, or in Scotland they call it an Ulster fry up. That's the loaded breakfast sort
Oh, I
of
love
in
your
that.
pictures of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good. But one of my new favorite things, because I've finally had the real thing, honestly, is haggis.
Oh, you just
Um,
Yeah.
saying that to be cool.
no, it's good. So I like offal anyway, right? And I mean
Yeah.
anybody that
Yeah.
pays attention knows that I love that stuff. So give it to me. So one of the places we went today, we had a little bit of it. It wasn't as deep, and the waiter came out and was explaining to somebody else, like, we're a good starter haggis for people because we don't
Yeah.
put as much in it, but we've had like 3 or
It's
4
like
different places so far.
What's the
it's like, all it is snouts and assholes. They keep out
Pretty
the
much, yeah.
assholes. Is
Yeah.
that
What
pretty
is
much
yeah,
it? Then they put
exactly.
the
What
snouts
what what
in.
is the thing about hot dogs, lips
Yeah.
and assholes or something like that
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
a John Candy movie?
As Mike
Um,
Myers used to say years ago, because he has Scottish heritage,
yes.
haggis seems to be a cuisine that is based on a dare.
You right?
I
So
mean,
what the thing
it's
is now
based on just like much Italian food, but we haven't
yeah,
adopted
it's
it here in
peasant
America.
food. I mean, that's where it
It's the
starts.
kitchen of poverty. If
Yes.
you get
Yes,
one goat, you eat every part of that fucking goat. If you get one pig, you eat
absolutely.
every part of that fucking pig.
Yeah,
Here in America, man, we take like about 10% of the animal that we'll eat and we toss the rest of it into a dog food factory most
right,
of the time.
right, or in the stock pot.
So what
But
was
yeah,
the
so
what's the balance between guts and oats?
Um, I don't know the exact number. I should ask somebody. But everybody does have their own recipe, every place or every butcher. We had a sausage roll yesterday for breakfast before we did a tour. That was a haggis sausage roll. I actually found that one really well spiced. I like that. But it's just they're not still serving it in a sheep stomach or anything like that. It's more of a
Right.
loose sausage. So like the national dish of Scotland, I'm learning, is called haggis, neeps, and tatties. Neeps is turnips, tatties is potatoes. So you just get these 3 large quenelles of one is haggis, one is turnips, one is potatoes, and it comes with a really great like whiskey jus gravy.
Ooh.
And yeah,
So
so
while the rest of the world was like figuring out how to cook great food, these guys were just focused on whiskey, right? I mean, is that pretty much Scotland?
absolutely.
They're like, y'all can figure out what to do with the fancy foods over in France. We're just gonna
Yeah.
get
Right?
drunk so we don't give a fuck what we're eating.
Yeah,
We need to get
chips,
through the
gravy,
day.
haggis, and whiskey, like 4
Right.
food groups: chips, gravy, haggis, and whiskey. They also have really fantastic cheese in Scotland. They had some great stuff in Ireland as well, but the stuff I'm eating in Scotland seems to be a little bit more flavorful, a little bit more bold. So I've been really enjoying that. Yeah, and we're popping into tiny pubs that are part of old citadel walls. Anything we can find that is like the super trope, right? Super old, super tiny. We were in what Scotland considers the tiniest pub in Scotland. I think it's maybe, I don't know, 60,
I,
70, 80 square feet.
I saw your pictures.
Um,
Yeah, it looked like a
yeah,
dorm room party or something.
yeah,
Man.
exactly. It was super tiny. There's 6 musicians, like 5 of us patrons kind of around, and 1 bartender. It was fantastic.
All right. Well, that
So
sounds
yeah,
like a
it's been
lot
a
of
lot
fun,
of
man.
fun. Yeah.
Cool. Where are you headed next?
We leave Scotland on Thursday, and we are taking an overnight ferry to Amsterdam.
Okay. Well,
Yay.
that sounds
Yeah.
fun, man. I mean, Amsterdam, I have to say, now that we got legal weed in America, like Amsterdam is kind of not the stoner mecca it was when I went to Amsterdam. But
Fair.
have you been to Amsterdam before?
No, this will be my first time.
Have you ever done a Riechstaffel?
I don't know what that
No.
is, to be honest.
Okay, well, you and I will talk. We could try a
Okay.
Riechstaffel. It's not Dutch, but there's a lot of it. It's kind of a buffet type situation. We'll talk about it later. 'Cause
Okay. I
in
love
my
it.
opinion, when I went 25 years ago, that it was that and like the raw herring brugie, like a raw
Oh,
herring on a fucking hot dog bun, right? And you're like,
done.
this is good, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like all
It-
the fish things. Oh, that's a really quick shout out to Ireland. Mostly the east and southeast. I had some of of the best Atlantic seafood chowders I've ever had in my life.
Cool.
Not so much all the way south and not so much all the way north, which is what I kind of expected it to be better because you get into that colder sea. You get some of those really good like lobsters and scallops and salmon. Oh my God, Scottish salmon is amazing. North Atlantic salmon is fantastic. So yeah, I was hoping for some of that and Guinness brown bread. Those
Guinness
two things
brown
together.
bread. Yeah, I like brown
Yeah.
bread. We've been eating Tyler Vorse has been making a New England canned brown bread, his version
Ooh,
of that
yes.
over at Lily.
Oh,
And
man.
he
Oh,
serves it with a fucking cumin butter, but the original is something that he used to eat up in Maine. It came in a can. It's a brown bread. So
abso-fucking-lutely. It's
he does
I
his
fantastic.
remember
own
that,
version.
yeah.
Yeah, so he's doing his own version of that over at Lily. We'll talk a bit more about
Oh,
Lily
Tyler, please keep this
shortly.
going when I get back.
Rich, man, have you been eating any place good in Seattle? If not, I got a spot out. You're gonna have to listen to my
Yes,
interview.
yes.
Yes, a little.
Knowing I was going to finally get back on the show for a little while, but I needed to bring something, so I'm
Okay.
doing. And conveniently enough, this is the first of 2 weeks of Seattle Restaurant Week.
Oh,
Yeah.
all
And
right,
that
man.
is nice. So doing my part. Yesterday, Monday, as we record this, I spent a bit of time and money on a fancy French-like lunch at Delille and Ville. It is an offshoot of the Delille Cellars, Delille. It's a very nice winery up in Woodinville. Woodinville is the Seattle exurb that's now a suburb that was the hub of the emergence of Washington State wines more than 40 years ago, led the way by Chateau Saint Michel and many, many others right now. They have wineries, they have tasting rooms, they have restaurants and all that. And DeLille is exactly that. It is the winery. They had a tasting room. They have the restaurant up there. And back in September, they opened this beautiful restaurant in University Village, which is sort of an upscale outdoor mall, a downtown Summerlin vibe, although a little more compact because they have grown over time rather than master planned. My
Right.
$35 prefix included a butter, lettuce, bacon, and blue cheese salad that was very generous with the creamy blue. That was nice. The main was an oxtail and short rib pappardelle ragu.
Wow.
Perfect, fresh, wide pasta. The ragu, that must have taken days to finish, man. Deep,
Mm.
beefy goodness. And dessert, a very small, but not that small, a small but intense chocolate mousse. I wanted a whole lot more, but didn't really need it, you know.
You're not going to turn down a chocolate mousse. Come on.
No. I
So-
should have tried a wine with all that, but I stuck with sparkling water at noon. Although on my body clock with my hours, noon is well beyond happy hour.
Yeah, man. Plus, you're a journalist. Don't
And I was
journalists
driving.
just drink all the
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
man, for the most part?
Also, well, go ahead.
But my question is, okay, it's a broad question and no disrespect to the locals, but I remember probably around 1999, I went to New York Restaurant Week, right? And everything was $19.99 back then, right? So it was a great deal. And we were really able to go to restaurants that we would never be able to go to, at least me being young and broke and living in New York City. I went to Oceana, which at the time, I think Rick Moonen might have been dining, might have been working there. I remember we went to see the polar bears in Central Park first, and then we went over to Oceana and we had, $20
That's so cool.
lunch,
Yeah.
and it was really cool. Now, we came to Las Vegas. I love Three Square. They're amazing people. But in order for the high-end restaurants of the Strip, the really serious restaurants, they kept moving up the prices of Restaurant Week to the point where I don't know that there are any fantastic bargains to be had. I think it's still a great reason to go out and explore new restaurants. It is great to know that the portion of the money is going to Three Square, but I don't think from a consumer perspective, I very rarely walk out of a local Restaurant Week thing going, holy fuck, I never would have been able to have that if it wasn't for Restaurant Week. So how is it in Seattle?
There is a wider variety. It goes as low as $20 for some food carts and other things, and goes up, I think 65 is the top end. And that's for some dinner stuff. And there are some very nice places. And pretty much every $5 point between 20 and 65, some places will have. So it's
So it's kind of like
a
the way
little
we do
something
it in
for everybody.
Vegas, but
Yeah.
you didn't see anything saying like, "Oh my God, I can get into Robichon and only spend $40 or something like
I didn't
that,"
see
right?
Canlis on the list, but I wouldn't look that hard too. A place I've never been, and I'm ashamed that I have never been because it's like the first fine dining restaurant in Seattle 60 plus years ago,
Yeah.
70. Another thing in University Village that is making some regional noise. Hey Bagel has lines out the door. Line moves quickly. It's just bagels and accessories, no seating. There's some outside common seating. Hey Bagel just won first prize for best overall bagel and best sourdough bagel at Bagel Fest West in Los Angeles. This is about 3 weeks ago. They beat a couple of very well-known LA places. It's a one-off place right now. I have a feeling they'll be expanding, and it leans into a bit of bagel snobbery. The sign says, no slicing, no toasting. So you buy the bagel, you get a little tub of schmear, cream cheese, scallion cream cheese, a couple of others. They want you to go sit down, rip up the bagel while it's still warm,
them.
and dunk it in cream cheese like it's a fucking pretzel.
What is it, a churro?
You won't slice my bagel for me? Fuck
No.
you, soup Nazi. Okay.
Now
This is a Seinfeld episode for fuck's sake.
because I'm a
Seriously.
rebel. I this morning I took the bagel and I sliced it and I toasted it and I put their cream cheese with the scallion on it, and it was really good. It was really kind of puffy. It looked puffy, but when I bit into it, it was as chewy and doughy as anything I've had in New York.
Okay.
And so yeah, it was. I can
can't
see
at
what
slice
the
it for me.
deal.
If I can't sit down, I've got to take it somewhere.
Yeah,
which
like
means-
seriously,
Yeah.
I'm gonna dip
Yeah.
it. Like
I just want you to nod on it. Bagel caveman style. Like if caveman had bagels,
caveman.
that's it exactly.
No,
So,
those people could fuck right on off, and you could tell them I said that, man.
but it was a good bagel, I have to say.
Okay.
And the place is a visual beehive. The dough makers, the bagel formers, the boilers, and the bakers, they're all visible as you wait in the line. And since they're not taking orders so much other than, here's a bunch of bagels, here's some cream cheese, here's some salmon, now GTFO. So the line moves fast. I'll tell you about University Village. This is sort of our upscale part of town. Two branches you may have heard of are coming. Mendocino Farms is coming, the California fresh forward chain. And the big deal dim sum joint Din Tai Fung.
Is
Ooh,
that
coming.
fun?
Yeah,
We
there
got
you
them
go.
Here,
There we
you're
go.
gonna have them there.
Yeah, they're all over the place. A couple of other things to share. I went to the spring version of the Washington State Fair down in lovely Puyallup, Washington, which is the far suburbs of Tacoma. And looking for I saw a pierogi cart, Polish pierogi, all red and white and all that. And I got this thing, and it was just fuck awful. Basically,
Oh,
loose meat and
no.
cheese whiz inside a bun, a solid baked thing.
Love that.
No hint of any flavor I would ever call Polish. So-
Rich, I'm sending you to a good restaurant in
Yeah, you
Seattle.
are.
We're
And-
gonna have you come back.
But I made up for it. One last thing. I went to Seattle's Pioneer Square in a little jammed, always busy sandwich shop called Tats. T-A-T''S. Its story raises a little red flag, striving to be an authentic reproduction of an East Coast deli experience. You know how much I love the word.
My God, was that written
Experience.
by
I can't-
fucking AI?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
exactly.
I just sprained my eyeballs rolling
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, for me, it's right up there with program. But anyway,
That
but
definitely sounds like Cloud or Chat wrote
Yeah.
that.
But this place has been going strong for 21 years. It's doing a little expansion for the 6 World Cup matches we're having here in Seattle, which will be a mere 4 blocks away. I had the pastrami, coleslaw, melted Swiss, Russian dressing, and man, it was heaven. The
Yes,
line
please.
is out the door. The line takes a lot longer than those bagels. I ate
Yeah,
half of the
'cause they
foot
take
long.
the time to fucking slice shit. Probably.
Yeah. Great bread. I ate half of it, took the other half home. Next day, I scraped off the coleslaw, microwaved it, reapplied the coleslaw, and it was every bit as good as the first half on the first day. So, Tats, if you get to Pioneer Square and need a sandwich to split, and yeah, you'll need to
Okay.
split it. That is the deal. And that is my Seattle thing. And I'm looking forward to whatever it is you have
Love
laid
it.
out for me.
So we okay, so now everybody that tuned into this podcast about Las Vegas dining, we're gonna talk a little bit about Las Vegas
Oh,
dining.
boy.
But no, man, I love it. I love that we have this international appeal today, man. We're out there. Gemini, you just hitting that wine right there.
Yeah,
Every time she's not
dude,
talking,
It's
she's drinking
8:22
wine.
my time while we record, so I've
I'm
had a
jealous. That's all. I've done some cool stuff recently. Short rundown. The whiskey tasting at D'Agostino's was excellent.
That
Huge
looked amazing.
congrats to Eve Hammond Bushman, who's really like the Pied Piper for whiskey lovers in this town. If she's part of an event, you kind of want to go. They had stations over there for Japanese, Canadian, American, Irish, and Scotch whiskeys. Chef Dan and his team stepped away from their Italian comfort zone, and so they were doing things like robata skewers and fish and chips and Guinness stew, pulled pork, poutine. You're hearing a like kind of thing like
Oh.
Guinness stew, Irish whiskey.
Yes, I'm loving it.
Poutine, Canadian whiskey, right? Like you get the vibe there. I had a great time. I ended up purchasing a bottle. Have you been to this distillery? Natterjack Irish Whiskey.
No, I've never even heard of
No?
it. Tell me more.
I haven't cracked it open yet, but I had
Okay.
some that I sampled there, and it was really good. I got the cask strength, so I know that you can buy it. I think D'Agostino's will be helping sell some of these for a while. I'm not really sure, but I know you could get some to drink over at
I'll
D'Agostino's.
reach
So
out
when you
to him
come
because
back,
yeah, I want that.
yeah, when you come back, we'll do a little drinking of that. So that was great.
Yes.
Congrats to my friends at D'Agostino's. I dropped by Eataly at Park MGM, where La Pizza e la Pasta is celebrating one of my favorite dishes, one with which I have a complicated history, carbonara.
Hmm.
Carbonara is the dish that taught me don't ever think that what you have is authentic, because somebody will smack your ass right down and tell you that you don't know authentic, right? Like even if it's from your mom's kitchen, we all have our own definition of authentic, right? So I discovered carbonara in New York. One of my very first reviews I ever wrote in Las Vegas, when I knew nothing about food writing, nothing whatsoever, was Ferraro's. And they made a carbonara that was a little different in many ways. In some ways, it was very non-traditional. In other ways, what I thought carbonara should be was very non-traditional, right? Like, because the place that I had it on Washington Square Park in New York City made it with peas, right? So I
I
thought
was
it should
waiting
have
for that.
peas.
Yeah.
And no. So Gino Ferraro, to this day, every time I see him, will give me shit, right? That I thought carbonara was supposed to have peas, and justifiably so. He did have some things that they changed in their recipe that I do think I was right about, but whatever. Also, I mean, I think James Trees and I may have argued about carbonara
I
the
think you
first time
have.
that I met him before Esther's even opened. So, and of course, this all from a guy that's my only cred here is going on having a vowel at the end of my last name. I mean, at this point, I've never been to Italy. I'm going in June. I'm hoping to try some carbonara in Italy and see how they do it. But so for me, I heard that Eataly is currently offering 4 versions of carbonara, and I knew I needed to chat with them. So I headed over. I had an amazing dish of their classic carbonara. I sampled a few other Roman treats from the menu, some artichokes, some supli, which are Roman rice balls. I don't know,
Mhm.
kind of like an arancini with tomato in them,
Mhm.
stuffed with cheese. I had those recently somewhere else. I can't remember where the fuck it was, but I liked them here. I liked them there.
Quick
And then,
interjection, Chef
yeah,
Luke Palladino does a really fantastic one, and if you go and look at his social media, he's been doing a lot of social media cooking, and it's
okay,
all, like, super amazing parts of Italy, and he just recently, and when I say recently, 3-ish weeks, somewhere in
right,
there,
right.
posted a really great way to do it.
Okay, awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. And then I sat down with Luca Esposito, who is their director of store operations for Eataly Las Vegas, and we spoke all about the carbonara thing.
Pasta alla carbonara comes from central Italy region, Lazio, right outside of Rome. Once was considered a favorite among shepherds, and he has endured throughout the years as one of the city's classic pasta dishes, mainly thanks to simple and accessible ingredients.
So I see you're offering an original version and then some kind of spin-offs that have evolved over the years. So could you tell me what's in the original and in the classic, and then what's involved in those spin-offs you're doing?
Yes, we're featuring the Classica, the original version of carbonara, which is prepared simply with guanciale, eggs, pecorino romano, salt, and pepper. And this is actually the traditional Roman recipe that highlights authentic ingredients which we source directly from Italy, including the guanciale and the pecorino.
Guanciale, I mean, I have to say that seems to be one of the places where people cut corners most on this. And I'm at the point where if it's pancetta, I'll kind of put up with it. But if it gets anything further away, if it's American bacon or if it's ham, I'm like not having any of it. How important is it to have that guanciale, which is, as I understand it, the salted jaw meat of the pig, right?
That's correct. That's the jaw of the pig, and it's part of the tradition to maintain the dish as authentic as possible. So every time that you are in the mood for a carbonara, you have to make sure you have guanciale in it.
So what do you do with these other variations on the theme that you're offering for this month?
Well, for this program, Eataly has introduced creative interpretations of carbonara that moved beyond the classica that we just spoke about. We are taking a zero rules approach. We explore both regional influences and seasonal ingredients in 3 additional variations, which is the tartufo, the asparagus, and the shrimp. For the asparagus, of course, highlights one of spring freshest offerings, and of course, with the tartufo, we want to showcase another icon, of the Italian cuisine, which is truffles.
Right. So the versions you're doing, are they primarily different just because of what you've added into them, or does the basic recipe remain the same, or do you change the basic recipe as well?
There is definitely a base starting points, which is of course our egg and the egg yolk and the pecorino romano. We just added some other ingredients for the variations.
A lot of Americans like it a little creamier, right? Almost because they're used to having an Alfredo sauce when they see a white sauce. What are your thoughts on that?
Definitely not cream for the carbonara. I think the visual aspect of that creamy really comes from tossing the pasta correctly with the sauce and the hot water of the pasta.
Okay, so tell me one more time, how long are you offering these? What are they? Give me the lowdown on what people can come in and get.
Yes, they can join us at La Pizza La Pasta inside of Eataly Las Vegas at Park MGM. And it's going to be available through June 24th to enjoy the Roman classics together with the carbonara, the classica, the tartufo, the asparagus, and the shrimp.
Sue and I had dinner at Vic's Supper Club at the Smith Center. As you're going to hear in a few minutes in the middle of the show, I recently sat down with Chef Rick Giffen. He's an old friend of mine. He probably doesn't like that many olds when I say his name, but he's not as old as I am. He's not as old as I am. And my friend Christy Mulaski was performing there this past weekend. So I was like, well, I just chatted with Chef Rick and I love Christy. So we're going to go and we're going to check out the show. We're going to check out the food. We're going to do all that. First of all, fantastic sounding room. I mean, I suppose if you build a passion project to have live music in Smith Center, it should be a great musical venue. And it is. It's a fantastic musical venue. We had some meatballs, quite good, with crostini, red sauce, ricotta, arugula, some crab cakes in a roasted pepper beurre blanc. Very good. Beet salad. I hate beets.
I was going to say.
Everybody gives me beets, but I'll tell you, the way that this was done, I didn't really pick up any of the beets and eat them themselves. But of course, that sweet beet flavor that I don't like, it's always going to carry through a beet salad, whether I eat the beet itself or not. What I liked was the way this salad was put together is that there was enough acid to cut through that beet taste that to me is an earthy sweetness that I don't really like. So they had pickled red onions that I think brought that a really long way. They had feta cheese. I think I made it like goat cheese a little bit better for that reason, but no problem because there was lemon vinaigrette. Again, a lot of acid to cut through there. Some Marcona almonds. So even though I hate beets, this was a good beet salad for me, for a guy who wants something that's going to cut through that beet taste. Did some tiramisu, some peach bread pudding, all fantastic. Where else have I been? I was heading to the hardware store because I've got a key fob that doesn't do any fob stuff, and I don't know how to get the new battery because I'm old. We don't know. We didn't have those things in my day. We had keys and we hot-wired cars when we needed them. So I'm heading over to the hardware store, and I came across a Filipino food festival in the parking lot. This was Island Pacific Seafood Market and Phil House, both of which is a Filipino restaurant.
Yeah.
They're both in there over on Durango and Trop. And they had this fantastic food festival, which I didn't eat at because I was headed to another food festival afterwards. But bravo to those guys. It looked really cool. After that, I went to the Taste of Stations Festival and really just top fucking notch. It's part of Red Rock's 20th anniversary. So they, Station doesn't fuck around when they're doing a party. And it was all their chefs from throughout the company. So they spared no expense. And I mean, they actually had little meat refrigerators out there so that you could see the steaks like hanging, and bonfires and huge pieces of beef being cooked, and everybody that worked at station was cooking something great. And thank you guys for inviting me. It was a fantastic event. Then that was a food festival. Then Women in Hospitality's Leadership Conference. I attended the opening mixer. I also went to the festival at the end, and I spoke to a few of our friends just about what Women's Hospitality Initiative and Women in Hospitality Leadership Conference are all about. So I'm going to play a little bit of that. First up, I spoke to Jolene Menina, a founding member of the WHI and one of the key organizers of this event. And she, of course, has been an integral part of the local culinary community for as long as I can remember. I saw her for a few moments before the conference kicked off and asked her how she felt.
I feel pretty alive right now, I'm not going to lie. The registration's open, people are here, we're at capacity, which means a lot to us. We already know that next year we're going to need a larger space because we're growing so quickly.
Tell people again what happens at the conference that we're at, because we spoke a lot about what happens at the food, but what happens at the conference?
So the conference is a leadership conference, and we have two different groups. We have students, and then we also have executives. And so here you're going to hear keynote speakers, there's breakout sessions, there's skill labs, so a little bit for everyone. So you get to learn, you get to talk to mentors directly.
Our friend Cherie Bruscher, formerly Cherie Macy, who is a huge part of the Life is Beautiful culinary programs over the years. She is the creator of Picnic in the Alley, and she also has a company called VVR that does a lot of culinary work. She told me she was very impressed with the turnout.
It's great. It means that things that everyone's doing outside of this, it's happening, it's growing. And I mean, I'm so excited to see the women here and learn from them as well. So I think every day when women are doing things in this caliber, it just makes it so it brings that much more attention to everything.
Next up was Nina Manchev. We all know her from Forte Tapas and the Caviar Collective, but right now she is a key player over at Fortune Events.
I am at the Women's Hospitality Initiative for the first time as a guest. I'm very excited to go and listen to all these amazing women speak and connect with all of my peers in the industry. Up until this point, I've been fortunate enough to be involved on the back end and one of the vendors and, creating kind of the experience. So I'm excited.
So now are you actually going to do some of the conferences and all of that? Are you going to be teaching the conference, or, the mentor things, or are you going to be sitting back and listening?
I am here as a mentee. I'm here to learn.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are you hoping to learn?
I am hoping to, get more perspective, listen about these women's lives and what they've gone through. My former life, I was one thing, and I feel like now I'm doing something different. So it's nice to hear everybody's story and journey through hospitality, as a woman especially.
What would you tell a young woman who wants to get into the hospitality industry about what challenges she might face for being a woman and how she should handle that?
I think women put a lot of pressure on themselves. I think nowadays everybody's coming more together, and in the past maybe we feel like we're alone and have to kind of figure things out on our own, and events like these show how many other women are out there and how we love to collaborate, and it's more than just women in the industry. It's men, women, all of us working together.
Cassidy Christek is a local publicist.
I am at this conference to learn about what is next for hospitality in Vegas from the women's point of view. It is a girls-run, women-run hospitality town. I think we have a lot of great female leadership here. So learning about what's next, what's on the horizon, and then also getting to network with some really strong women in town.
And here's another local publicist, Jen Smullo.
I'm super excited to network with more incredible women in the community and learn from some of the best. Vegas is an incredible hospitality city, so I think we have some of the best hospitality talent. And I want to help the next generation of hospitality professionals, so hopefully help someone with their next step in their career.
On my way out of the conference, I bumped into a couple of friends of this show, journalist Emmy Kasten and her teenage daughter, content creator Alex Kasten, who has done a lot of work for Neon Feast over the years. She is absolutely brilliant. And Alex told me why she was there.
I'm here to support my mom and see all the fun things that she does. And I love to see all these amazing women in hospitality and everything.
For a woman of your age, what's it mean to know that you have these resources around, that these older women who are incredibly successful are here to share their knowledge?
I think it's such a wonderful and powerful thing that there is so many wonderful women in Las Vegas, because it is like all these industries are male dominated, and that's kind of what you see, especially like all these male chefs and everything. It's super powerful, and it makes you feel like I can do it too.
Finally, I caught up with another founder of the WHI and the Leadership Conference, the one and only Elizabeth Blau, and I bumped into her at the Sip and Savor Grand Tasting.
Al, it's just truly extraordinary. We, from 2020 when we launched to the conference today, the feedback from women, I mean, people just feel like their souls are filled. They feel empowered. They're so excited. They're talking about next year. The celebrity chefs are talking about when they come back next year. And, I have to tell you that, when it started in the early days and I invited people, they're like, a woman's event. And it's an event that happens to be celebrating women, pushing women forward, but it's not a traditional women's event. We're not complaining about anything. We're not blaming anybody. We're empowering each other. We're sharing our insecurities. We're being raw. And we're really figuring out how to make sure that the next generation has the tools that they need to succeed and to lead. So you have a room full of incredible leaders that are willing to share their innermost thoughts, their insecurities, to make sure that everybody leaves here with a full plate.
Finally, because I knew I was going to be heading to Anima by EDO to talk about some new menu items. Sue and I paid the place a visit on Sunday before I recorded that interview. I'm going to talk about these dishes during the interview, but so I'll just run by new preparation of octopus, some cacio e pepe croquetas, these puffy, cheesy, truffly things topped with Iberico ham, some ricotta gnocchi, some pan roasted black cod, fucking to die for. Really, really good shit. We are going to hear about that in the middle. And that's about it for where I've been dining. Now, finally,
that sounds amazing.
I know, man. I'm a fat motherfucker this week, man. Before we take our first break, are you looking for something cool to do next week? We've been moving this around in the lineup, but here's a short rundown of special culinary events that are worth checking out. Rich, we should get some special culinary event music to go behind this at some point, maybe. But
I'll put a big echo on it. Special culinary events.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to read? Do you have my notes on these events? You want to read them down, Rich?
I forgot to. Let me get your notes up here. Notes for tomorrow. There it is. Okay, there it is. Yeah.
Give them the things I write.
I'm gonna scroll. Tonight, Friday, as this podcast drops,
Sassicaia wine dinner. Yes.
There you go. That's at Ferraro's, not Ferraro's. I know that part. Saturday the 25th, Peace, Love, and Happiness Beer Festival at Big Dog's Brewing. Hoppiness. Good, because usually a beer festival ends up with fistfights.
Right.
So hopefully there'll be more peace and love than that. Vegas Unstripped. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm missing that. That's Sunday the 26th. And then Thursday, April 30th, barbecue with the Smoke Queen, Winnie Yee at Wynn Las Vegas on the event lawn. And then you had, Thursday again, generational tasting tour. What the heck is that? Oh, because it's Wolfgang Puck and his son, Byron Lazaroff Puck, at Cut in Venetian.
You know
because
how
there's
you would have
two
known this
bucks.
if you read the notes when I sent them to you.
I like to be surprised. I like the spontaneity of it all, right?
I like it too. Thank you.
And what's that last one? You take that.
Just remember the Alenia residencies running through the end of May at Michael Mina Bellagio. And if that's a bit too much of a commitment for you, and trust me, I say this every time, if you can spend that money, and you could do it with a clear conscience, Alenia will give you amazing, amazing memories. But a quick reminder that the sister bar, Aviary, is launching its own residency on May 1st at the Vault in Bellagio. That's a way to do, I think, 3 courses, 3 cocktails, 3 bites for a much, much, much less money, even though it's still pretty pricey. So I just want to remind people always that residency is going on because it's really, really fucking cool. And you can find out more info on all of these events and a lot more on the events calendar at foodandloathing.vegas.
Foodandloathing.vegas. Oh, okay, got it.
Okay, got that? You wrote that down? Okay. Coming up in the news, a brunch collaboration at La Strega, and of course we have a happy hour report from Andrew Morgan. But first, a couple of extended interviews. First, with Chef Rick Giffen of Vic's Supper Club, and then Anima by EDO's Joe Mikulich. This is Food and Loathing. And as promised, here is me sitting down with my old friend, Chef Rick Giffen at Vic's Supper Club.
Dude, I'm doing so great. It's so awesome to be back in Las Vegas and see familiar people like you. I mean, I feel blessed to have such a past in Las Vegas and such a future to come.
Yes, and of course, we first met when you were at the Stratosphere, if I'm remembering correctly, right? Like it goes back there. But I'm trying to remember all the places that I've interviewed you and worked with you over the years. You were at T-Mobile Arena, if I'm remembering correctly, and you were at the Oyo Resort. Am I getting these right?
That is correct. Did a stint at T-Mobile Arena when I realized that there was just too much entertainment and too many off-season events. I never had a day off. I figured I'd make a change, and then at that point, Hooters sold to Oyo, and they were going to turn that into like a little boutique hotel, and we're going to do like a local chef's food hall and all sorts of stuff, and then COVID hit.
Yeah, and that changed everything. Yeah. But that's cool. You left town for a little bit. You're back. You're here at Vic's. As people can probably hear in the background, this is a jazz club, and we have a jazz act on stage sound checking right now, which I love. It just gives it a little bit of a vibe. Explain what brought you back to Vegas, why you decided to come back to Vegas.
Well, you know, I left during COVID and moved to Yellowstone to run a lodge, and we missed Vegas every single day. I mean, Yellowstone is amazing. You know, we did a really cool thing with the lodge, created some really nice American classic food, drove business, and then a buddy hit me up about opening some restaurants in Arizona, did that, and we just kept pining to get back to Vegas. And so when I completed that contract, I looked at my wife and said, "You want to move back to Vegas?" She's like, "Hell yes," right away, and here we are.
Cool. Well, I'm going to have some questions about Yellowstone when we wrap this, but I'm not going to take everybody down that rabbit hole with me. So Vic's is a spot that a lot of my friends go to pretty frequently, people who hang downtown. I know that it's known for its jazz. I popped my head in, but I've never really known the backstory, and you were just giving me a little bit of the backstory here at Vic's. Could you bring the listeners up to date on the place if they're not familiar?
Most definitely. So it's owned by the Loudons, who they're like, you know, classics in Las Vegas. They opened multiple hotels here and sold them off. And they opened the Stonies, and the Stonies were doing really well. And the kids decided they wanted to build like a jazz club for Paul Sr. to play with his buddies. Because he was a musician that moved here, I believe it was in the 70s, and they were looking, you know, to have a place for him to have all his jazz buddies come and play. So that's what they did. They built this for their dad, and it's really awesome. I mean, it's really a cool family story.
And, you know, the room, the performance room, which is the one sitting just on the other side of the glass from us, I could tell just by looking around as a music guy, that's a space that was built for music, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, they spared no cost on this place. The from the sound engineer and the mixing board and the equipment. We have a $100,000 piano sitting on the stage. It is built to perform. I mean, we've had like Tom Scott and the LA Express play here, multiple other big jazz names, and we also have the LVA students that play here every Sunday through Thursday night, and they're amazing. They're such great kids.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to lay it out for people. There's the main dining room, which is where the band performs. We're in a PDR right now, private dining room. Then there's the bar area where you have plenty of gaming. And then there's a really kind of laid out lounge. Am I getting the three different kind of vibes?
Oh, totally. And, you know, it's so neat because if you're in the lounge, you would have no idea that the rest of this restaurant existed, because it's completely like old school Vegas with the old Keno boards and big time old slot machines and things in there, tons of TVs, fireplace, and great place to host events. We do a lot of charity events in there and various weddings and stuff as well.
Okay, so I came in. I was waiting a little while for you. Everybody recognized the Mohawk. I guess you told them I was coming. But I was taking a look at the menu. My first thought was it looked a little Italian steakhousey was where I was going to go. But you just told me that you're kind of in the middle of a menu transition?
Yes, I was brought on board to kind of update the menu, make it a little more supper club, if you will. So it's going to be a little more steaks, some seafood. We'll still keep some of the classic pasta dishes, but a more American classic international cuisine, if you will. And we got Vegas Vic on the roof, and I don't think he's Italian. So we're gonna move away from the Italian vibe.
Okay, cool. I was kind of impressed with the prices. I mean, I looked at 2 steaks on the menu, and I think they were like $48 and $56 or something like that, which is tough to do in Vegas. So value, is that a serious priority for you guys here?
Most definitely. Vegas has gotten so expensive, and to go out and have a great dinner, we don't want to be that place where you drop $150 a person and you're like, that was okay. We want to be a great venue with great entertainment, killer food, and you can keep the check average under $75, something like that. I think between lunch and dinner, our check average currently is like $48. That's sandwiches and stuff at lunchtime. But yeah, like our most expensive item is, I think it's $62 for the bone-in ribeye, which I've actually changed to a dry-aged ribeye with bone marrow and garlic whipped potatoes. So we're going to keep it inexpensive, if you will, and affordable for people to come and have a great night, being entertained, and leave happy.
Yeah, very. That's what we need in this town at this point. So that's great. I also don't remember if I saw outdoor patio seating. Was there outdoor patio seating?
Yes, there is. There's about 45 seats, and we can actually expand that on demand to about 70 seats out there. And it's really nice because it's in the shade of the building in the afternoon, and it's facing, Reynolds Hall. And what a great location to just chill out there and have a steak or a pasta or something.
So is this you have so many great bands that come in here on their own, and as you said, local students as well as national touring acts. So I'm curious, does this draw more of a crowd for the pre and post theater scene, or more for people who just come here because they're excited about what you guys have on stage?
Well, that's a great question. So we get punished between 5:15 p.m. and 7 o'clock for people going across the street to the show. I mean, like we'll do 260 covers, 280 covers in that hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half. We created a lounge menu for the patio and for the lounge that's separate from the dining menu, so we can better execute service, if you will. And then as soon as that crowd empties out, then we have the evening entertainment that starts about 7:30, 7:45. We fill right back up, and we stay full until about 10:30 or so. We serve the full menu till midnight, and then a happy hour menu from midnight to 1 a.m.
So I know you're in the middle of a bit of a menu reboot, but what would be some kind of classic or signature dishes that you tell people about?
Well, just simple things, right? Like filet and lobster Oscar with garlic whipped potatoes, sautéed asparagus, and béarnaise sauce. Just American classics. Really doing some really fun fish, seafood dishes. Like tonight, I have a herb-crusted Pacific cod on a black garlic farro, which is, the ancient grain, and sun-dried tomato vin blanc. So, and that's $35, and it's like next level. So we're trying to just really focus on quality ingredients, well executed in a timely manner, and not break the bank.
Wow. That sounds really good, man. Totally lost my... You got me thinking about food, and I totally lost my train of thought. We're downtown. Right now, the hot button issue is parking. You are actually in a building that has a parking garage, and I just parked it, and it doesn't look that expensive.
Yeah, so it is quite of an expense to us, but we comp 50% of your parking while you're here, and it's not really exorbitant. Like if you were here for, I think, full day, it's like $15, so we'd pay $7.50 of that. So if you're coming to go to a show, you got to get in real quick and park, come in and have a bite, and then go to the show. We're still gonna validate that 50%. So
and I think I saw $3 an hour. I think when I was figuring out what I was paying. So with you guys doing 50%, there's $1.50 an hour, right?
exactly. So it's funny because I was actually thinking about doing a slogan called "Validate Night" instead of just regular date night. But yeah, I mean we share in the cost of that, and it's super convenient. You park and shoot right down the stairs or the elevator, and you're right at our front door.
What are the hours? Do you do a lunch menu? Do you do a happy hour menu, or is it a dinner only?
No, we do lunch. Currently 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're probably going to cut it to 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. full lunch menu, and then we do a happy hour menu from 4 to 5, or actually 5:30, and then dinner goes from 4 p.m. until midnight, and then a happy hour menu to close from midnight to 1.
Okay, cool, man. Well, I'm excited to come in and check out a show, so I will be back within the next week or so. But all I can say is welcome back to Las Vegas, man. It's great to see your face again, and I can't wait to start making this a more regular spot.
Dude, so great to see you as well. Last time I think it was at the Tool show, and that was a lot of fun. But I'm super psyched to be back, and it's great to see all the peeps.
Next up, we have me and Joe Mikulich over at Anima by EDO.
Joe, thanks for having me in, and damn, that was some good food I had on Sunday.
I'd love to hear it. Sorry I wasn't here to see you, but I heard you had a good time, so thank you.
Well, we had a great time. My wife and I love this place. We love to come in very close to our house. We like to sit at the bar. We like to try. I got to convince her not to get the same 3 items every time she's here. And then we like to try new menu items, right? So for me, it is fantastic. And I know you've done some seasonal updates. So I want to talk first. Tell me about how much of the menu has been updated, and then we'll go into some of the dishes.
Yep, so probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, we moved into this new menu with the new seasons. So I would say 30 to 40% of the menu a la carte has changed, maybe 30. And then tasting menu got a revamp with 50% new dishes. So a lot of things moving it. We try to stay as seasonal as possible. Sometimes that's a challenge in Las Vegas, but there's a lot of dishes that we have changed for sure.
Okay, so what are some of your favorite new dishes?
One of my favorites is probably the new cod setup. Using like snap peas, artichokes, all those like heartier vegetables. I'm a huge fan of. That is fantastic. The chicory salad right now is a cool play on I guess our version of like a Caesar salad with chicory, anchovy vinaigrette, Idiazabal cheese from Spain, and then citrus. It's delicious.
Okay, let's talk about that cod. I had that cod dish. I thought it was a fantastic dish. The meat was treated perfectly. It's very tender fish. It's not it's not normally a very aggressive fish, but I loved the fact that you really crisped up that skin on it. Yep. We're not afraid to embrace that fish-like oceanic flavor that some people don't like to put in seafood for some reason, and yet lighten it up with all those spring vegetables as you were talking about.
Yeah, so I mean, the chef team here, they're very adamant, and I love it too. I love a crispy skin on all fish. Anything that salmon, anything along those lines, we love that texture. So we always hard sear that to start to crispy up that skin on all of our dishes, almost like a chip. The texture is great. It complements the softness of the fish. So yeah, I love it.
It also retains a lot of the seafood characteristics, right, that you would get out of a stock if you were to really boil something down.
Yeah, and a lot of our chef team are, funny enough, a lot of them are from Hawaii, and they love cooking with seafood, all that stuff. So we obviously we need to make it not such a scare people with all this fishy stuff, but cod is such a great fish that a lot of people that even aren't big fans of seafood can still enjoy.
Yeah. Now, that was a great dish. Let's walk through another one of the new dishes that I was a little surprised to see on a spring menu. Okay. It was a fantastic dish, absolutely amazing, but I want to eat it in December or January, and that's the ricotta gnocchi. Sure. Could you talk to me a bit about that dish?
So we have two. Was it the one on the tasting menu that you had?
I had the one that came with the fonduto on top. Yeah.
So and rich. It was rich.
Very rich. It felt like I wanted it on a cold winter evening,
Winter night with snow. Yeah. We, of course, we try to keep it as seasonal as possible. Some of them are just, no, maybe I have a better word, but like a slutty, just rich dish. That one makes you feel very comfortable, makes you feel just like a warm blanket just laid over you. So there's no really rhyme or reason to it. We just like that dish because it's a crowd pleaser for this restaurant group.
Yeah, well, it's a very good dish. Walk through some other things. You updated the octopus, and I love that really, really rich, deep tomato that you have under there. It was just very good, and the thin, crispy onion, kind of like almost like crispy, yeah, like onion sticks, basically. I would call them, I guess.
And that octopus is probably the best setup that we've been well received with from our diners. That like it's super tender, not overcooked. That's probably one of my favorite dishes on this menu for sure.
Okay, so new stuff. Remind people, what's a tasting menu cost here?
Tasting menu costs $80 per person. There are some upgrades that you can choose to kind of get you up a little bit higher, but the base level for the regular tasting menu is $80. So crazy value.
It's amazing value. If you have the appetite to come in and do like a full boat and you're looking for a place to do a tasting menu, this is one of the best places to do it, I think.
Thank you. I mean, there's so many restaurants where you can spend, we were just talking about $500-$600 a head. And of course, it's a different level of cuisine, but we've tried to be the group that can do cool, creative restaurant, food, but not break this bank. So you can probably come once or twice, rather than just one celebratory time a year, you can come 3 or 4 times a year and enjoy yourself and try new seasonal items. So we try to do that. It's a hard balance for sure.
You're also doing lunch service now, and that is something that I think might surprise a few people. I know eventually you may be changing that up, and we're going to talk all about that. But for right now, what are you offering during lunch hours?
So there is a Monday through Friday $25 prefix menu where it's an appetizer from Anima and an entree from Anima. Some things are slightly different, the portions and things like that. We don't want people to leave here super full and going back to work like in a food coma, but it's a condensed menu, quick and easy, in and out in 45 minutes. It's like our prefix lunch menu. And it's turning out pretty darn well. We're getting a lot of love from locals, the business center here. They know they can come in here. It's a great thing, but like I said, with the new restaurant opening pretty soon, the gastropub in this shopping center, we'll probably migrate that over to the gastropub just because it makes a little bit more sense. We're going to do lunch over there and brunch probably. So this restaurant, it's been great, but I think it'll be more suited best for a gastropub.
You said prefix. What's the price on that?
$25.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah. So like, you can get like the things that we're known for, like the green tartare and a piece of steak for $25 is crazy from us.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about 3 other projects. You mentioned the one that is not quite open, but it's right here. By the way, we're at the Gramercy, which is basically on Russell Road, just at the 215, between Fort Apache and Durango, right? And I love it in here. It's a great little place. I know a lot of people know it because they used to come to DW Bistro when it was a few doors down from where you are right now. That's the space that you're about to take over. So tell me what you're going to be doing with that spot.
Yeah, so I mean, I used to go to DW all the time too. Like what Bryce did over there became an institution in Las Vegas. So the location's awesome. The space is a great layout. It has this patio out in front of it that we're really going to like triple down on with this beautiful gazebo. It's going to be a gastropub. We're going to call it EDO Gastropub, but a little bit more towards like approachable bar food, elevated bar food, a very sexy vibe. Think like a Au Cheval kind of a design with dark wood, dark leather, Edison bulb lights, a little bit darker with brick and black. But make it a cool place that you can go for lunch, probably brunch on the weekends, and have a cool dinner, but not break the bank. And we'll be able to really triple down on the Gramercy. They have this beautiful patio out here that for the most part is unused from the food and beverage side. We do buyouts and things like that and try and even weddings and do catering outside here because it's a free atmosphere that's only getting cooler every year. They've been adding a lot of investments to make this a cooler environment. And now with these new businesses, it's almost becoming like another community, which has been great. It's only going to get better.
That's been the goal here for so long, is having it kind of become a self-sustainable live-work sort of community. And it seems like it's definitely getting a little closer.
It's getting closer. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like when we first started, it was tougher. And now with these new businesses coming in, Hadari's coming in, the salon, we have this childcare center right next to us, and we've already met them. They're amazing. The workout facility, bikini fitness, like all of them are now starting to like fill in, and they seem to be doing well. And now it's just like, man, we just need to continue to create a cool community, because we have the Gramercy and the Ellison here, and they're filling up with residences. I think they just need to create like a cooler vibe, a cooler routine to come to this area. And it's only growing. It's only getting better.
Cool. So let's move outside of this area. Let's move to another development that has had its ups and downs over the years. It's been trying to find itself very much over the past, I'd say, 3 or 4 years. And we, of course, are talking about over on Paradise Road, directly across from Hughes Center. Old people may know it from the days the old Ruth's Chris Steakhouse used to be there. More recently, oh God, what? I'm thinking, like, didn't Firefly start it off in there, if I'm remembering, or very, very close to it? So this is where we're talking, folks, and that's where Brasseria by EDO recently opened. It's their French, high-end French restaurant, but I'm going to ask you, are you okay with me calling it a high-end French restaurant?
We can call it high-end. Of course, like it's definitely like a nicer level, a more upscale spot. But again, at a price point, like our tasting menu there is also $80. You can go there and spend, like we have a $19 burger on the menu. On happy hour, it's $14. So it's definitely kind of a blend. It's definitely a place for special occasions, but you can also go there and not break the bank. So it is beautiful. It does look like a high-end place, but you don't need to go there and spend some crazy amount of money.
So how has that been doing since you opened? And have all the bugs been kind of worked out at this point?
I don't think we'll ever be at 100%. No, anyone saying there's 100% bugs gotten rid of is a lie. But the place is doing great. Now that the word is spread out and it's continuing to grow, the retention of people coming back and that support the group, and just from travel and tourism alone, there's a lot of big things in town right now. This whole week, we have 2 partial buyouts this week, which has been amazing. And that's where the restaurants on the Strip or the surrounding areas around the convention center really thrive, is where they have these large group dining areas where they can, a little bit more of an expense card that can cater to a large group. That's how probably Cleaver does well and all that stuff. Like those things are so easy, and it's great for the proximity to the convention center. And we're no different. Like we hope to double down on that.
You're also pretty close, because I do lists of this. You're pretty close to the Sphere, right? I mean, you're a very good place to kind of either post-game from Wizard of Oz or pre-game from Metallica or Fish or whatever, right?
It's funny enough, we've actually had a lot of people, like Fish was in town or is in town. Man, the amount of people that came with the full Fish outfits, attire, and then they literally would just walk from the shopping center over to the Sphere. It's like a 15-minute walk, rather than dealing with all the traffic and parking. Yeah, like you can see from the patio most of the Sphere. It's pretty crazy.
That patio, by the way, if I remember correctly, was pretty fucking big, and nothing was really it wasn't being used for anything when I saw the space last. Are you breaking that out for the springtime?
So it's long story short, when we first took over that, we thought that it was already licensed and permitted for a patio. So we assumed that we were going to, decor this, put tables and chairs, and get the approval. That was not what we had found out. There was no permit for it. So we already applied. It's going through, getting approval, and then construction starts. I would love to think that, because we want to do it right. The game plan is to do this extension of Brasseria, but make it almost like a greenhouse where it feels indoor but outdoor, but you can pump AC or heat into it when the weather's right, but make you still feel outdoors. I would imagine that it's going to open right at the beginning of next year, because we're gonna do it. We want to do it really right. Make it fit in there. We're gonna have to move the entrance of the sign so it's a little bit closer to the front, but it's going to be a big overhaul for sure. But you can fit probably 40 people in that area. It's crazy.
Yeah, it looks really great, and I'd love to eat out there, man. I think it would be a blast. Okay, one last thing, and then I'm going to let you go. But you also have a restaurant in Seattle. Now, my producer, Rich Johnson, is living in Seattle these days, doing all this on the back end. I like to give him a little bit of culinary advice when I can. So what do you got going on in Seattle, and when should Rich be eating there?
So we opened up in Seattle May 6th of last year with One Hotel. It was an awesome partnership with us, and it was a great experience. One hotel is located in South Lake Union in Seattle. The place is amazing. The restaurant's called La Loba. It's more of our Mediterranean twist in the hotel. So we're the only restaurant in the one hotel. It's turned out to be a huge success. It's doing great. And one hotel, the whole aesthetic of them is, all about sustainability and live wood, live plants. And the hotel definitely transitions that kind of a theme into La Loba. But the place is amazing. It's doing incredibly well. It's a lot bigger footprint. But we control all the F&B for the entire hotel. So it's been a really cool experience with us to learn, even just like in-room dining or making food for the bar, or, the convention area. We facilitate that all through one kitchen. It's pretty cool.
Well, obviously, coming from Vegas, the hotel world is not foreign to you guys.
No, it's funny. Like, we've joked about it too. Like, Roberto and I came from working in hotels, and it's a completely different business. It feels like, yes, you're serving food and all that, but working in a hotel is an extra layer of just challenges. I'm not saying it's harder or less hard, but it definitely is different. And when we left the Strip and did our own restaurant group, we're like, man, we like this a little bit more. The autonomy is definitely there. And then so going back to the hotel world, I think we were a little bit more better suited for it because we knew what to expect. We knew the challenges we were going to face. But the restaurant at the end of the day turned out incredible.
What part of town's that in?
South Lake Union is just below Capitol Hill. I think that would be, I guess, southeast.
That's enough to tell people. I just wanted to make sure I knew generally. Okay, well, do you do a tasting menu there?
We do, and it's I think it's at $85. So same thing, $85, $89 more or less. 2 abilities to do upgrades on it, but completely different food than what we do here in Vegas. Really doubling down on the Pacific Northwest, trying to utilize as many ingredients from there as possible, and really honing in. Like, for example, we have a salmon is so popular in Seattle. We do a smoked salmon candy montadito that is probably the biggest favorite in that restaurant, no doubt.
Okay, now we're going to find out whether Rich actually listens to these when he's editing them and putting them together, because if he is, Rich, I'm going to buy you a tasting menu for 2 at this restaurant if you listen and you tell me you heard this part. You'll let me set that up, right? I could buy that from a distance?
You don't need to buy it. I'll take care of it myself. So
you're too kind.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, cool. Joe, man, thanks so much. Obviously, I love this restaurant. You know how much I love it. I love your entire restaurant group. I'm glad to hear Brasserie is doing well. And I can't wait to see the gastropub over here.
You'll be one of the first to know. Don't worry. It should be, I'm hoping, don't quote me on this, no restaurant opens on time. But hopefully by the end of August, we should be more close to opening that.
The Happy Hour Report is next. This is Food and Loathing.
Need a restaurant recommendation? Then you need Neon Feast, the most convenient, most comprehensive, and most trustworthy collection of Las Vegas restaurant recommendations on the internet. Veteran food journalist Al Mancini, whom you might remember from, listening to this podcast, asked the city's top chefs, restaurateurs, critics, journalists, and influencers for their favorite spots in more than 100 categories. Why take the advice of an anonymous online wannabe or a paid influencer? Neon Feast will tell you where people in the industry send their family and friends for a great date night, to watch a big game, or get a taste of Old Vegas. Looking for a great steakhouse? You want a great burger? Maybe a little caviar? Need a place in Summerlin South, the Arts District, or Seven Hills? Las Vegas brings the neon. Local foodies provide the feast at neonfeast.com or the Neon Feast mobile app.
It's that time of the week. I know you know the news is next, but we never get to the news until we do a happy hour report with Happy Hour Vegas's Andrew Morgan. And Andrew, I don't even know if I can use the slang correctly when it comes to this topic, but I hear you've been, as they say, hitting the links. Did I get that right?
Exactly. Getting my balls out of my pocket and put them on the green, That's what I'm doing this week.
And then asking somebody to whack them really hard?
No, but you always got to make sure you have clean balls when you're playing golf.
Well, you always have to clean your balls. Absolutely. Same thing when you play beer pong. I learned you always have to rinse your balls before your game.
Oh, yeah, because you don't want the crusty style beer on the beer pong kind of thing.
But we're talking golf balls.
Real golf balls, Tiger Woods kind of golf thing.
Tiger Woods kind of golfing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we going to pop a bunch of pills?
That would be the antithesis of happy hour. But along that same vein, we're just sitting there talking
We're
about.
putting things in our veins? No, just alcohol, Andrew. Alcohol only.
Man, this one took a total left turn. That was like, as they say, a bogey in the golf world, right? So, look, no surprise. My daughter is a big golfer. She's pretty fucking fantastic at it. So I'm the daddy caddy, and I bring her around, whatever. So when she's out there playing golf, I'm going to go into the clubhouse, see what's going on. And turns out there's actually a lot of these golf clubs that have a happy hour. So if you go to Angel Park at Nino's at Angel Park, I should say, they have a happy hour there. If you go to Painted Desert Golf Club, there's a happy hour there. So the thing is, they're not really good,
So but they're better than if you're drinking at regular times there, right?
It's still half off for, and some, burgers and, stuff like that. So pretty good. But the interesting thing about it is most of them are having like an outdoor, a patio kind of thing. So, you're having a cheap beer, cold cheap beer, and you're sitting outside and you're watching a bunch of people duff the ball. I think that's kind of a funny experience and a good way to spend a happy hour. So even if you're not playing, it's there. But what's interesting is I'm getting hit up by all sorts of these modern golfing experiences like Top Golf, Atomic Golf, Pop Stroke, 5-iron golf, swingers at, Mandalay Bay. So these guys all have taken the golf concept and really just make it an excuse to drink even more.
They've made it into a party game or a vacation game.
Exactly. So I've been talking to a lot of these guys back and forth, and I've been invited to go to the Atomic Golf on the Strip. Well, it's not even on the Strip. It's on Main Street. So it's just right next to the Strat, and as you get into Arts District kind of area. So I haven't been there yet. I'm going to follow up with you guys about that one. But I'm pretty fucking excited because, look, it's like $49, all you can eat, all you can drink, all you can golf.
Yeah.
That's my kind of golf. I'll do that all fucking day long.
Yeah, I mean, not me, because I would fall off that thing, and then they'd have to rescue me. But, so that would be a waste of the golfing money for me. I don't like that you have to shoot off those ramps at that place. But the food there is going to be good, man, because chef just left, but Robert Lamelli was the chef who created their menu. Absolutely fantastic chef. I know he's leaving on good terms with them. Everybody's happy. And so, yeah, I've heard about this happy hour, and it sounds like a great deal.
Yeah, so I'm excited to go there. Why don't you come join me if you want,
I'm not going to golf.
Yeah, I know. But, if you did fall over, then we just call our friends over at Knock the Injury Law, right? And there you go.
Are we being sponsored by lawyers now? That's the other podcast about food.
Exactly. And if anyone knows any of those lawyers that want to sponsor a podcast, call us. No, that's... We'll have some drinks. We'll laugh at the golfers. We don't actually have to swing the clubs, okay?
Have you done any of the other places? Because I've been to Top Golf. I've been to Swingers. I do like the ones that are more mini golf, right? Yeah. I've been to the Pop, the thing that's at Town Square, I think, right? I've been to that one, Pop Strokes. So which of those have happy hours?
So Pop Stroke has happy hour. 5-iron Golf has happy hour, which is at Area 15. Durango Hills, Top Golf has a happy hour, but I'm just going to give you a heads up. It's not verified. They can't confirm what the menu is. So they know that they have a happy hour. They just don't know what it is. So that's where I'm going to head down there in the next few days and clarify that for us.
I just had some great food at Top Golf. I was at a party with all the half-naked men from Magic Mike, and great food at that. That was a holiday party. So, and I know that the guy who used to be their corporate executive chef's a fantastic guy. He used to work with Carrie Simon and people like that. So I expect they have good food. So can you at least, if we don't have details, do we have details on the hours for these happy hours?
Yeah. So Atomic Golf is pretty much from noon to, closing. Actually, sorry, I take that back. Noon till like 6 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And then it starts again, a late night reverse happy hour for $59 and the same thing until close. So it's good before, during, and after kind of thing. So that's a pretty good one. The regular Durango Hills and Painted Desert and stuff like that, those are your standard happy hours, 3 to 6 kind of thing, 50% off. So you can get a beer for like $3 kind of thing. That's pretty good. Pop Stroke, that is at... So Pop Stroke is interesting. That's at Town Square, and it's mini putt, and they got two 18-hole mini putt things there. It's members only, so you have to pay $35, but then you have 50% off, which is the happy hour there, and they've actually got a pretty decent kitchen in terms of food and drinks and stuff like that. Good vibe, good scene, so it's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And then the other one was at Area 15. That is 5-iron Golf. That is... shots for $5, bottomless wings for $5. a 5-cheese pizza for $5, and a Gleazy turn dog for $5. That's indoor golf. That's playing on a screen, which is pretty good. And that is also every day, 3 to 5. It says 3 to 5.
Okay, man, this sounds good. In the meantime, keep your eye. Check out what's going on late night at Other Mama. I think I sent you some information on them, and also over at something. Just keep your eye on, and you tell me what's happening with it. Bellagio is picking up some late night things. We're going to talk about them in our news, but a couple of their places are going to be going late night. So next week, week after that, you got to bring me up to date on that. But for now, thank you so much. Tell people where they can find all your happy hour reporting and sign up for your newsletter.
HappyHourVegas.com. Sign up for the newsletter. It delivers every week. It's free. It's got all the good stuff there. And otherwise, just check back the site whenever you need that update.
Okay, so it's time for the news. But Rich, did you actually listen to that interview that I had pre-recorded?
I did, and I'm sitting here Googling La Loba and trying to find the map. Come on, give me the map.
My God, dude, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, we're going to get you set up.
Where is this?
Okay, you look, and I'll do a few news stories.
No, it keeps giving me the
it's in the one
Vegas
hotel,
map.
I believe. So that's what you're looking for. Okay, I'm going to do a couple pieces of news, and then if you want, we can cut to other people. But I don't know if I have this noted.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me. This is like 10 blocks from my house. I'm walking there.
You're walking there.
Yeah.
All right, brother. You're in business.
I'm going to go right past the Space Needle and Climate Pledge Arena, home of our lame-ass, horrible Seattle Kraken.
Okay. They beat the Knights the last time I saw the two of them play.
Yeah, but
that wasn't any good. Okay, so I'm going to read a few news stories, and then we're going to cut into Gemini's going to read a few news stories, then Rich is going to read a few news stories. Gemini, raise your hand when yours is coming up next, because I can't remember what I assigned to you there. But we are international, so you guys are just going to...
And interstate.
Okay, so a big piece of news for me. Our old friend Bryce Krausman, one of the creators of the late DW Bistro, is teaming up with chef Gina Marinelli for a limited time brunch service at her restaurant La Strega. According to the La Strega website, and I might mix this up a little because I got some extra news too. This menu is going to blend Gina's seasonal ingredient-driven style with all things Bryce from back in the DW days. It says it'll be something different every Sunday. If you see that, don't pay attention to that. They're going to do one menu and they're going to keep it for every Sunday. That's news. I just got that news today. But it's going to have a la carte dishes and spritzes and crafted cocktails. DJ T Mike is spinning an unmistakable DW vibe, La Strega style. It's everything you love about La Strega, they tell me. Bryce and brunch. It will be every Sunday between May 3rd and May 24th from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and reservations are recommended. That sounds fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Two of our favorite people on this show.
Right. Gemini, you got some news, I think, right?
I do. Hey, Chef Dan Cromer is changing up the hours at Other Mama. The restaurant is adding a late night happy hour from 10 p.m. to midnight every Friday and Saturday, and closing on Mondays to recover from the longer weekends. I don't blame the man. Hopefully we can get Dan on the show soon to discuss it. Omakase Kiara will host an all-you-can-eat bluefin tuna and Wagyu dinner on Saturday, May 2nd. That's from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. It's first come, first served, running all night with a walk-in format. That means no reservations, folks.
I mean,
it costs...
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
Right. No, you got it. You got it right. Sorry.
It costs $120 per person, and here's how it's going to work. Beginning at 5 p.m., the kitchen will prepare and serve dishes continuously throughout the evening with tuna and Wagyu presented in multiple forms as they are cut and plated in real time. The walk-in format allows for a steady flow of offerings, with guests arriving at their convenience and dining within a 1-hour seating window. Selections include tuna sashimi cuts such as otoro, chutoro, and akami, spicy tuna and hand rolls, alongside Wagyu lettuce wraps and hot preparations. Drinks and desserts will be available for purchase separately. Reservations not required.
Sounds like
and the
fun,
MGM,
right?
I know. Oh my God. I want to wander in at 5 p.m. and just eat for an hour.
Yeah, I love what Chef Winston is doing at Kayara, man. You
And the
should
fact
keep
that
your
it's from,
eyes
like,
on him.
Yes. And from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m., like that's such a highlight because you get people from all different schedules giving them an option to get in there.
Yeah. Keep your omakase vibes. I'll do the next one just so you don't come down because this is my wheelhouse.
Okay.
MGM Grand Buffet. which I've never actually been to, closing permanently after service on May 31st. No immediate plans for the place right now. They've only been serving breakfast and lunch, and oh well.
So
That's
you
the way
can
that is. There's a couple of buffets, only stopped doing dinner. The thing at the Cosmopolitan did the same thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, after COVID, when everybody said we were never going to have any buffets,
Yeah.
a lot of people
Yeah.
rethought them. MGM did not get rid of all of their buffets, but what they did was that they really only a few of them were doing dinners. The others were doing breakfast and lunches, and they've been trying to work it out. Look, all this means is that I'm going to get another motherfucking phone call from another fucking out of town reporter asking me for a quote about the death of the Las Vegas buffet, which is probably the thing I get asked about more than anything else over the last 20 years of my life by both my own employers and out of town people. So take that for what you will.
Okay.
Who's next?
You.
Okay, I'll do it. Fuck it. It looks like the grand opening party for Maroon by Chef Kwame Onwuachi, excuse me. I'm sorry, Chef. I'm gonna do a better job at your name as you become a Vegas resident. I do apologize. Anyway, grand opening party. I finally got my invitation. This is one of those things where I was like, I guess I didn't get invited. Which is fine, man. You can't get invited to everything. And then I think Sue was at a party last night and with me, and the publicist was like, "Oh, you guys coming to Maroon?" And Sue was like, Al doesn't think he got invited. So I woke up today and there was an invitation for me. So I'm going to be going there on May 1st. That's, of course, the Sahara's new Afro-Caribbean steakhouse, and it'll presumably begin welcoming members of the public shortly thereafter.
Would that be taking up the old Bazaar Meat space?
Yes, sir, it will.
Wow.
Yep.
So it's really exciting. I mean, look, there's a lot going on with this restaurant, Afro-Caribbean. I mean, I think that this is a cuisine that we've never put a name on here in Las Vegas, and I think it's important that we do talk about, that as an ethnic cuisine. But also, this is the first Black guy to have his name on a Las Vegas Strip restaurant ever.
That's my understanding.
Wow.
Like, how the fuck did that take until 2026,
And
right? I mean,
seriously.
yeah, I mean, we have some excellent African American and chefs of all nationalities that run restaurants in the day-to-day here in Las Vegas. But getting your name on the marquee, that was one glass ceiling that this is shattering. So good for that chef, and I can't wait to go to the party. In the meantime, over at Bellagio, Lago has launched a late night menu available Friday and Saturdays from 10:30 p.m. until 2 a.m. No, 3 a.m. Fuck.
Yeah,
And a few
come
steps
on. We're no
away-
wimps here. 3 a.m.
No, we party, man. We did once. A few steps away, Yellowtail will debut its own late night menu on May 22nd. Both of those restaurants have seating on Lake Bellagio, so it should be a pretty cool late night vibe at the hours when, honestly, if I'm going to be honest, Las Vegas isn't quite as bustling as some people might expect at like 1:30 in the morning. It really isn't. And so that's good that they're doing some stuff. So
I have found the last couple of trips that, the casinos are still buzzing, but it's probably most of the people in a hotel casino are guests in that hotel. So they gamble, they drink, and then they just stagger upstairs. They don't want to be blasted out on the strip itself.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, if you want more news, check out foodandloathing.vegas, where you'll find all sorts of cool food news, including some of the stuff we've told you about today, including our own Bob Barnes weekly dining and entertainment report, which drops every Tuesday. In this week's column, Bob has news on a wine dinner at Grapevine Cafe, the New Vista Wine Walk at downtown Summerlin, and Lazy Dog's spring menu, among other things. And his pick of the week is Fogo de Chao.
You can hear Al's lovely voice and my amazing production on the weekly Neon Feast foodie updates on the Highway Drive radio networks. That's Highway Country, Highway Vibe, and KNAC FM. And read Al's work at LasVegasAdvisor.com. Get all your happy news from Andrew Morgan at HappyHourVegas.com. And then when Seattle, tune your actual radio, if you still have one of those, to 97.7 FM or AM 1050,000 motherfucking watts for Northwest News Radio. And you might hear me for 30 seconds at a time.
And
Awesome,
hey,
man.
if you'll let me throw one thing in there, this
Yeah.
past week or so, we love our friends over at CityCast. Go and listen. I actually don't remember the day, even though I just looked it up. I dropped a pod with Sonia Swanson, and we talked about food in strip clubs. And as one of
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
favorite friends talked about the other day, it was me talking about tater tots and titties. So if you can go on and find that, let
Titty
me know if you have any
tots.
questions.
Titty tots. I like that. Somebody copyright that.
Justin
That-
Randall said that. I'm giving him all the credit for that and calling him out for it.
That's it for this week. I'm Al Mancini with Rich Johnson and Gemini Stevens on behalf of Andrew Morgan, thanking all of our guests, Rick Giffen, Joe Mikulich, Luca Esposito, all of our friends at the Women in Hospitality Leadership Conference. Thank you all for listening. Keep eating well and always stay hungry.